Welcome back. Are you looking for an easy but healthy recipe to wow the family or some guests for the weekend? Then you don't want to miss what Chef Ulrich is whipping up this week.
What we're going to make today is a nice tuna tartare, and we're going to pull on those regular flavors, the common flavors that you would expect from a tuna tartare, the classic Asian ingredients that go with it. So first thing we need to do is find a good piece of fish, and that's very, very important, especially when you're making a tuna tartare or you're going to make sushi out of your fish, because it's all about the quality of the fish as you're not going to cook it. Working with tuna, you want to try and get a number 1++. You're looking for a nice, clean red, dark, deep red color with as little fat running through it in this case as possible, because we want to chop it up and we don't want any of those veins running through it. So we're going to take our tuna and we're just going to cut a nice thin slice of the tuna off like that. You put that on your cutting board and again run your knife down, cutting it into thin little strips like that. Lay the tuna down again, taking your knife and then chopping it into a nice fine little cube, or as we call it in the industry, a brunoise. That's just a fancy French word for a little dice. Mix that in with your tuna like that, and then we're going to take the various ingredients that are going to make the flavor element of this tuna dish. A little bit of the sesame oil. This is toasted sesame oil. Be careful with it. It's a very, very strong flavor element, and if you add too much to it, it's really going to overpower the tuna pretty quickly. A little bit of soy. The soy really is up to you how much you like. If you like a lot of soy, the same with the chili when we get to it, you're going to add more to it. Some of the crunch, some of the textural element that we're looking for here, the daikon, cut into a nice small little cube as well here, a small brunoise. Put that in there. The ginger, some of the spice, some of the heat element that we're going to add to the dish. Put that in there as well. Some scallions. This also gives you a little bit of color in your dish, and you'll see how important the color is when we plate this dish up at the end. A little bit of rice wine vinegar. Don't mix these ingredients together. What's going to happen here, the acid that you have in a lot of these ingredients, but especially in the rice wine vinegar, is going to cook the tuna. And the moment you add it to it, you're starting to work against the clock because the color of the fish is going to change. And you want your guests to see that you bought the best quality tuna, and you want that nice, beautiful, rich, dark color. Some of the sesame seeds, again, lightly toasted. We'll put some of those in there. This again is for that crunch element that you're looking for, but also for some of the taste. And then finally at the end, a chili sauce, and add as much as you like. It's all about what your tolerance is for the heat. Mix all these ingredients together. Very important that you taste the ingredients at this point as well, because we're not going to be cooking this, and so we're not adding salt at the end of the process again. Now it's down to the plate up time. Now this again is something that you're going to have to do last minute. You can either plate up into a ring mold, or what I've done here is we've just taken one of these disposable cups. I'm going to take the tuna, pack that into the cup, push down on it, get it nice and even, and then turn it over into the center of the cup, into the bowl. There we go. That now gives you a nice little mound of tuna in the middle like this. I'm going to take some caviar. This is American caviar, so it's not that expensive. You don't have to go out and buy something very expensive. You can also buy some of the flying fish roe that you find out there. There's the green ones, the wasabi flavored ones, the orange ones. This is really going to give you a nice bit of crunch again while you're eating it. We're just going to take a little bit on the back of the spoon, put that into the center like that. Take some cilantro leaves, a couple of them on the top like that. There we go. And then finally finishing this dish, how it really becomes an interesting marriage of texture, color, and different flavors. We've taken some cucumber and we've just put it through a blender. We've taken all the juice, or taken a juicer, and taken all the juice out of the cucumber, and we're just going to pour a little bit around the tuna like that. Isn't that a pretty dish? I think this is something that you can really wow your family and friends with. As you saw, very simple to make, no cooking involved, and literally would take you probably 5 to 10 minutes to plate up before your guests arrive.
Looks great, Chef. Thanks. Now, if you missed jotting this recipe down, or if you want to see it again, you can find it on our show's website, yourlifetv.com.